This is Gardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. I have a guest that's zooming in. We're going to find out all about an event that he has coming up and why you need to know about it. Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, Gardy? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Okay, so if someone hasn't met you before, what's your name and then what do you have coming up here in Miami?
So, my name is Tomas Vacca, and we have an amazing event on October 19th, Main Character. It's going down. It's going to be a stacked part of jiu-jitsu matches. It's going to be a really good time. They're going to have food, bar service, waiters walking around. Some of the best talent in all of South Florida is going to be on this card. We have walkout songs. We have celebrations, interviews. You want to be there. Like if you like jiu-jitsu, if you just like combat sports, it's going to be really good. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some broken bones, blood. I mean, all sorts of drama. You know it's going down. So be there for sure.
Yes. So your opponent, who are you going against? What do you know about him? And I guess how do you think it's going to go?
My opponent is Manny Arias, and we actually know each other because a couple years ago, we actually met at a local tournament in a finals match, and if I remember correctly, he did have one less match than I did. And I even remember complaining to my wife at the time. I was like, oh, that sucks. You know, he got a bye on his first round. And now I'm over here tired as hell. And I have to go up against him. He's fresh. And I was like, well, you can't really do anything about it. You just kind of have to bite the bullet and go, and that's it. And I remember, I'll never forget, we shake hands, the referee, signals to start. And I remember he grabbed my lapel with like this strength that I'm just like, this guy has all the energy in the world right now. I can't even believe this. So I had to fight really hard. I gave him a really good scrap. We definitely like it definitely wasn't an easy match for him at all. But I just remember being so gassed, so tired, and just worn down. And I was literally running on fumes, man. Um, and he did get the win. And I was just really really upset at myself. And don't get me wrong, I'm not making any excuses up. I'm not that guy. I'm not here saying he won because I was tired. Absolutely not. He won fair and square for sure. But I just hated that. I went into a match so exhausted. Because you just never know what the outcome could have been, right? And no one likes to lose in front of their wife. So it was a good time. He's a really good opponent. He's been training for the same amount of time that I have. So we're both a little over 4 years now, and we're both really good competitors. He's at Fight Sports, which is an amazing gym, and neither of us like to lose. He's a good guy, and we're both very competitive. And I think he's honestly just gonna, if I'm not mistaken, from what I know, if I had to predict how the outcome of the match would be, if he goes to pull guard first and try to like enter my legs, I'm literally just gonna pass that and then just pass his guard and either end up submitting him from the mount or from a back take. Um, and if he tries to wrestle and I'm just like really not feeling like wrestling, then I'm just gonna enter on his legs and just finish him with a heel hook. So if I had to guess how it's gonna go, it'll probably go like that. Um, I do like wrestling too. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm down for a scrap, but it's just now like I hate watching matches where it's like 10 minutes of just like collar ties. Like it could be fun to do and stuff, but I definitely don't want to do that for the crowd. I have in mind that people are paying to be there. People want to see things break. People want to see happen, and wrestling is definitely fun if it's scrappy, if it's entertaining. But if it's just 5 minutes, just collar ties and then a guard pull, it's like
Yeah.
So whatever I got to do to like get the match going forward is definitely going to be my goal. I obviously don't want to put pressure on myself by saying, oh, I have to win like this or I have to win like that. But definitely, I have it in mind. People want to see a show. They want to see the best that jiu-jitsu has to offer, and that's something that I have to be very conscious of. and it's not something I take lightly. I'm very grateful for anyone who paid money to be there and who took the time out of their way to be there. These people, they could have been anywhere else on a Sunday night in Miami, but they chose to be there. So that's not something I take lightly. That's something that I want to make sure I give back to the jiu-jitsu community, a big sense of gratitude by putting on a hell of a show.
Yeah. So a couple things that stood out. One, no one wants to see. I'm not sure. Do you have a background in wrestling?
Not necessarily a background in wrestling.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like
like I,
even
I wrestle, but I wouldn't consider myself a wrestler by
yeah,
any means.
exactly. So like people like who are pure jujitsu guys like wrestle. It's like no, we'd rather see jujitsu. Like hey, force the action. And then the other thing you talk about, putting on a show, or hey, I want people to feel like they got their money's worth, or to be able to see some action. Kamui puts on probably the best entertainment. He's always said like, hey, this is entertainment. It's jiu-jitsu entertainment. It's a little bit different. It's not going to be your traditional, IBJJF rules, or this isn't pans. This is entertainment outside of the box. The music, the interviews, hey, dressing up, promote yourself, be the main character, put on a show, steal the show. And then there's opportunities to go to these bigger shows that, Kamui has with his relationship with FloGrappling and just all the people that he knows. But I think Kamui does a great job, and the athletes feel that and say, I need to put on a performance to get noticed and get a bigger opportunity. But one thing I wanted to ask, so where is your gym? Are you from Florida, from that South Florida area?
Yeah, so I'm currently at Palm Beach Jiu-Jitsu, which is Palm Beach Gardens on Riverside and Burns Road. And it's super cool because we actually just had Gordon Ryan stop by and do a seminar at our gym. And the guy's literally been my hero since day one in jiu-jitsu. And long story short, he came in, he did a seminar for us, and there's a room probably of about like 150 people, I want to say, maybe a little less, maybe a little more actually, but it was a packed seminar. And I was in the front row, and he needed an uke, and he was just kind of sitting there like looking for like a training partner, and just like no one was stepping up, and he was just kind of like lost. And I'm like, I'll be your training partner to demonstrate the technique, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, come on up here. But if you fuck this up, it's on you. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I went out there. We had a really, really good seminar. The guy is an amazing guy. I mean, I don't know too much about his like personal life and stuff. I mean, obviously from what you hear on social media and everything, but from what I reckon, from we've had a few interactions. He gave me his number. Really, really good guy. And he'll like comment on my posts every now and then. He'll send me like a DM. He'll like shoot me a text. He's very supportive. He's like, anything you need, just let me know. And it's definitely a lot of pressure with that as well.
Yeah.
But it's so cool to like have that kind of like relationship with like your hero.
For sure. And jiu-jitsu is a growing sport. The UFC is in it now, and I feel like it's gotten so much bigger, but it's still not even, the potential is barely getting tapped. Gordon Ryan, the biggest name in jiu-jitsu, and how easy it is for, someone to get communication with him. It's just, that's like the Michael Jordan of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? It's like if someone's basketball or whatever, just communicating like that and having that relationship, it's just cool. But the potential is still, I mean, we're at the very beginning to see where this sport can go.
It's so beautiful to watch, truthfully, even just as a spectator, not so much as an athlete, but even just as a spectator. You see UFC, BJJ, you see CJI, you see ADCC, and all it what's it called, Karate Combat, right? Like the show that they put on for CJI. Just you see like what's possible for our sport, and where it could end up becoming a sport in which it's competitive along with entertaining to watch, right? I think that's a really huge part of our sport. And I think the more we can focus on that, the better it'll be. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm such a huge supporter of Kamui and Main Character, because he's constantly looking for ways on how can, yes, we make this jujitsu entertainment, at the same time have it be high level jujitsu, and have it be competitive and display the best form of jujitsu because you got to have both. Um, it's just where the sport is going. It's literally the future for our sport. I see schools now um, buying the slant, the pit, right?
Right.
And they're in their at their gyms. Never in a million years would you see never in a million years would you go to jujitsu school and see a slant,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's just not part of our thing. And now there's a bunch of academies out there investing in a slant. So, it's so cool because once the rules change of the game, then the training changes. And then we start, kind of like evolving the sport into something different from where it came to where it's going. You had gi jujitsu, then you had no gi jujitsu, and now with no gi jujitsu, you had EBI, and now you have the pit, right? So it's just
Yeah.
so cool to just see like, wow, this thing is really taking off.
Right. Yeah. What are your goals when it comes to your career in jiu-jitsu?
That's a really good question. Mostly because I am a father. I'm a father of two. A husband. I love my family to death. I'm a big church goer as well. Like I try like every Sunday to be there at church. So definitely a huge follower of Christ. And I love my family to death. There's been multiple times, where I did have to make some sacrifices that kind of took on hit on both of those areas. And my biggest goal, truthfully, is to see how far I can push it, so to speak, how far I can go, how far I can train, how far I can compete without making such a big sacrifices in those two areas. And I know that's going to come with limitations, unfortunately. Um, and it's okay. I accept it. I'm happy. I have a son. He's 3 years old now, and part of my biggest goals is to like have him watch me train, watch me compete. Become a father that he could be truly proud of, and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Man, I have to set the bar even higher for him than he did." So the biggest goal right now is to set a bar really, really my son, have him, really be proud and have him basically think to himself, man, I got to work my ass off in order to match or beat that. And of course, obviously, I wanted to surpass it. So the goal is definitely to have him way surpass what I've ever accomplished. I compete a lot locally. I do a lot of gyms. I coach at my gym as well. I do privates. So, I definitely want to open up a second gym as well. That's part of my goals. And I really want to see how far I can push it. I truthfully, I have no idea how far I'll go. It's definitely part of my routine though. Like I train every day. I coach. It's jiu-jitsu revolves around my life on a daily. Um, but at the same time, I am there for my family. I am there for church purposes and church activities. So we'll see. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to see. But I'm in it for the long run. I'm
Right.
definitely in it for the long run.
Is anybody else in your family train, and how did you find jiu-jitsu?
Oh, funny enough, so I found jujitsu. Literally, it was just a gym at the plaza, right? And it was just walking by, and it said, jujitsu and stuff like that. And I knew nothing about jujitsu, right? There's a famous video about this guy, uh, you know, saying that he thought jujitsu was a dog, right? And that was totally me. I swear. I remember watching that video and thinking that's exactly what I thought. I thought Brazilian jiu-jitsu was a dog. So when I walked by, it said Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I was just called dogs, but it looks like a gym. So I went in there, and then the guy totally sold me on it. He was like, "You got to try it. It's gonna change your life and all this stuff." So I went home. I YouTube jujitsu, and of course, Gordon Ryan popped up right on all of Gordon Ryan's stuff. So I remember just thinking, "Wow, this is actually pretty interesting." Like this guy's a total badass. So yeah, I want to sign up and do jujitsu right now. And that's literally how I got started. I went home, I YouTubed jujitsu. I saw some of Gordon Ryan's best fights, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I gotta learn this. This is very interesting." Um, and then of course I got everybody involved, right? I got my sisters involved, I got my friends involved, and I was like, "Yo, come to the gym, let's roll." Like, they're like, "What are you talking about?" Let's roll. And he's like, "Dude, you got to try this out. I'm telling you, it's fantastic."
Yeah. That is, I mean, it's crazy. Whenever people see somebody excited about something, whether, I mean, you talk about church, whether they're talking about God, talking about jujitsu, talking about whatever, but you can feel somebody's excitement and it can get it's contagious, you know? Um, just like spreading the message of like, man, it helps you so much mentally. It helps you so much physically, emotionally, you know, it's friendships that are created there that are unlike any other because you're sharing a bond and struggle and the success and the defeat. It's like, it's a different kind of you know, it's a family essentially, you know, but it can change your life. And that's, you know, people say that all the time, but it's 100% true. Right.
Yeah, jujitsu. One of the biggest things I love about it is, and John Danaher puts it very well. One of the biggest things I love is that it's an evolving problem, right? So most people in their lives, they have a problem, a static problem, you know? So you just, okay, you have a problem. Once you know what the problem is, you can find out the solution and then work towards the solution. Whereas in jujitsu, it's the problem itself is evolving. So it's like the problem is constantly moving, which means the solution has to move as well. So it keeps you present, which is a really good thing for anyone to practice in their life. You have to be present. There is no, future thinking. There is no thinking about the past, right? Like you have to be present, 100% present. On top of that, you got to use your brain. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to use the best that your mind has to offer. You have to really access the problem solver within you. And there isn't a lot of things that where you have the problem continuously moving like that to where you have to constantly chase it with solutions. Um, so that's one of like the coolest things. And I think that's why jujitsu helps you in different areas of your life too. You have people who go to work and you have problems in your marriages, you have problems at work, you have problems in your career, you have problems in your businesses. A lot of those problems are stagnant problems. But jujitsu, because it's so constantly moving, like the target, and you're training that, right? Like you're constantly like in problem solving mode. You take that with you to your business or to whatever it is that you're doing in your life, and it's like this is a little easier, like
Yeah,
in comparison to that. Um, Plus, of course, the mind body connection and the physicality of sweating and grappling and stuff, right? So I am using jujitsu as a metaphor for sure.
mm-hmm.
By no means am I saying that jujitsu is exactly like going to work or doing business activities. I'm just talking about the problem, the mental solving aspect of it.
For sure. Man, can you remind everybody one more time what's happening October 19th? What are you going to be doing there? How can they watch? And I guess why should they watch?
October 19th, Main Character Jiujitsu. It's going to be on a Sunday down in Miami. We're going to have some of the best fight cards in all jiu-jitsu there. You definitely got to tune in. Number one, it's going to be an amazing experience if you're going in there live. And it's going to be live streamed on FloGrappling for all those who can't make the event. So we have an amazing fight card. Some of the best talent is going to be there. For the people that are going to be joining in live, there's going to be food there. They're going to be serving drinks, waiter service. It's going to be an amazing time. And it's going to be a great experience you don't want to miss out on. Bones may be broken, blood may be on the mat, um, sweat, tears, lots of emotions. You just really don't know what can go down, but it's guaranteed that something's going to go down, some drama's going to go down, and you want to be there for it.
I mean, you talk about that. Something will go down. I remember last time. I mean, there's clips of it, and it still gets views. But it's like Achilles Rocha, you know, and doing that handstand, and there's the kick. I mean, we posted like 2 videos of that. I mean, there's things that are floating around with the elbow, with the sweep, and there's people saying this side's right, that side's right. I don't know. And they're like, it's jiu-jitsu. It's supposed to be violent or whatever. But either way, there's something going down. And then the last main character before that, there was the Battle of the Cadies, and this was in Austin, Texas, where
Oh
they
my
did the
God, yeah.
slap, the power slap match. I guess the slap match bet after, and that was crazy too. So
No, that was insane. Oh my God, that was
I'm
insane.
excited to see
It
what
just
is this one going to hold. Like, what is October 19th going to have in store? Because there will be something. We just don't know what it is yet.
Oh yeah, mad respect to Katie, mad respect to Achilles for taking that kick to the arm, man. That was rough. And yeah, you just don't know, right? Like, and you don't know who it'll be. You don't know which match it's going to be. But you just know something's going to happen. You know, something can break, something crazy can come out of it. So it's very exciting to see. And it could just be you, right? So from the athlete's perspective, it's like, you know, you just might be the one to go viral.
Yeah.
Um, quick little thing I remember at karate combat, I had a buddy of mine. I think you'll appreciate this, but I had a buddy of mine, very good friend of mine, black belt, coached me a couple times, and he got invited to fight at karate combat for the first time, right? And I remember being so excited for him, you know, like, oh, dude, congrats, what a great show, what a great opportunity for jujitsu for you. And he had his match, and the guy, he goes on top of the pit, jumps on top, triangle armbar, almost breaks his arm and goes viral. And I was just like, holy shit. Like you went viral but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
But you guys
my
sometimes
butt.
embrace it. Embrace it. You know, like, hey, yeah, that was me. I don't know. But you can swing it in a good way, hopefully. But a lot of
Nah,
eyes on you.
that's my boy. I love it. I love it. But yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen. And it could just be you. You know, you might be going viral for all the right reasons, all the wrong reasons, but nonetheless, you're there, we're active, and more importantly, it's to put on a show for the people, you know, because this is jujitsu's way of giving back to the people. So if you guys are considering going to the event, you know, definitely make it. It supports all the athletes, and it also helps support evolve the sport. I know for a fact Kamoy is planning something big for this event. He doesn't like to share a whole lot of things publicly, but you can rest assured that he's working on something big because his goal, and he's told me clearly, every show has to be better than the last. And the last one was fantastic. The one before that was fantastic. So October 19th, main character Miami live on FloGrappling. Get your tickets now.
Thomas, is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, no, no. Just stop watching this video, exit right now, go to the link, grab your ticket before the prices go up. They still have an early bird special, so grab your ticket. Follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions, you're welcome to DM me. Love making connections and relationships in the sport. It's Vacca Jiu-Jitsu, just VACCA Jiu-Jitsu. And I really hope to meet you in person. And if you did watch this video and you go to the event, you know, definitely come up to me and let me know. You know, I'd love to meet you in person, get your thoughts on jujitsu, where you think this sport is going, and how you can see it evolving.
Thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. Cheers.
This is Gardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. Y'all be blessed.